This is how to watch TV.
Live from 9 Mile Studio, my name is Joel Henderson. With me as always,
I am Jeremy Vasitis.
I'm going with one name today. I'm just Dre.
There's no consistency with this man. Anyway, we are sponsored by, or we are brought to you by our producer, Come Up It's Network. Check out all of our past, present, and future stuff at
don'teva.com.
So can you get the future stuff now?
Hey, listen, man, we're working on it.
Joel is pretty good
It
behind the
depends
boards.
when you're watching this. If you're watching this a month ago, then yes.
My man. I told you.
But if you're watching it a month from now, then it makes
good.
more sense.
Listen, man.
It's either all real or
Watch
it's all
your
joke.
ass out there, all
Anyway,
y'all folks.
Oh,
We are
did you drop your bracelet over there, Dre? Oh, no, sorry. I was thinking of the episode.
We are sponsored by 9 Mile Branding. Signs, banners, decals, and stickers. Not stickers, decals. Decals is a proper term.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
Right.
You don't like
Fuck
stickers? Well, yeah, what do you got against stickers?
Wait. We
Explain to us what you got
monetize
against stickers.
that. We love stickers.
Stickers is a derogatory term.
Oh,
Really?
that's okay. No. I'm with you on that. That's like, yeah, okay. No, I don't want to say any of the
Don't make the
derogatory
comparison.
terms. Yeah,
Do
you know,
not
continue.
make the comparison. I'm trying to
We're
save
also
you.
sponsored by
What is that?
Swisher Sweets.
BLKs?
BLKs.
Oh, the
berry
Zip
flavor.
Cigarillos. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Tobacco from cigars.
We decided that we were just going to
And
tell people we were sponsored by the things that we like.
And Stella our toys.
toy, baby.
Because we think that drunk people are the best at spelling and speaking words that are hard to say and
I
speak.
can't get all the way over to Joel's camera. There we are. Stella, baby.
You made it into all three.
There you all three, baby.
I like green bottled beer, generally speaking, and zombie dust. But if you have
Zombie
a
Dust
green
is
bottled
good,
beer
too.
and you'd like to sponsor
We also
the podcast,
sponsored by Zombie Dust. Oh, we got another sponsor to talk
go
about
on.
today.
What's the sponsor?
AB Cannabis out of Chicago. Hey, listen, we're doing a 420 event down at I don't want to say the name
Oh
of
my
the
God,
company.
that's so convenient.
Yeah, we
Because
did
it's
it.
on 420,
It's
and
almost
420 is like
you
that thing.
are a consumer of said products because we did this
Trying to
exact
bump up
intro
your
last
ad
week.
here. Yeah,
No, I
I'm
get
trying
you, but listen, man, we're doing a 420 event. Hey, listen, what I want you to do, anybody who happens to catch this and happen to be interested in going to a 420 event at an actual cannabis cultivator, I want you to go ahead and go to AB Cannabis on Facebook and private message me there, and I'll add you to the guest list so you can come down and enjoy the 420 event. I don't want to say the place right now because I like to make sure things are solidified. So maybe the next episode.
Come
I'll
on
give you the name
down
of the
to
place.
somewhere.
Hey, listen, just tell me you're interested.
There'll be an event somewhere at some time.
It'll be on 420,
It
on a
totally won't be sketchy.
but we won't. We're not going to say exactly where. This sounds like a drug deal. Yeah, what are we doing?
So not a drug dealer. Why are you gonna accuse me of being a drug dealer, Joe?
I just said it sounds like a drug deal.
Just saying. I feel a little put upon.
So I watched like the previous one again with Michelle because she fell asleep during it. And I'm like, yeah, what could be the harm in watching it? And the only question that I had from there was answered in this episode, and that was like, what was Boyd's plan? Because he was talking of a plan that he had, and it turned out to be our plan. Like,
It was
that's
really
so
close.
good.
Really close to what we were talking about walking out into the forest as far as you can, except we didn't think of the...
Yeah, we did.
Did we
We
talk about taking the
absolutely
talisman?
discussed all of that.
Yeah?
It
That's
was like,
cool.
because he could just build a structure out there and use a talisman, and then,
Okay.
they could build up the
So
structure
I
a
think we
little bit each
discussed,
day.
like, would it work for, like, a pop-up tent?
Right.
Does that work? Or does it have to be, like, a solid, rigid wall? What are the rules here? Like, let's take it down to the science.
That's the most fun stuff, honestly. Like, I want the minutia of it. Like, what is allowed, what isn't allowed.
Speaking of the science, like, the scientists got fucked with. Sorry.
You're good?
Oh no, we're not gonna get paid.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
The
Stella gonna
scientists,
pay for it.
The scientists got fucked with, man. They
All of our fucks by Stella.
they
Fuck.
they
Thanks, Stella. Continue.
fuck. No, anyway. When they were doing the, I'm sorry, I'm just skipping right into it.
Yeah,
No,
whatever. We're
go
good.
to it. Go to it. I want to
The,
talk about
when they
this
were
one.
climbing up the tree to put that device or whatever he
Oh,
made from,
from
the electronics.
season 1, episode 6. It's called Book 74, by the way. That's what we're discussing. Sorry, continue.
Fair
I
enough,
didn't
right,
even mention
yeah,
it.
no, right. Well, you just jumped right into like talking about the other one. Anyway,
Yeah.
The Civil War guy chasing
Yeah, that
Jade,
was really trippy.
super wild. I was
That
like,
was trippy.
what the fuck is going on here? Because I mean, as real as the illusion looked, like the bullets like hit, and as soon as the bullet hit the tree, I was like, oh, this shit is real. Like, I was like,
he felt
for a
that
second, I was
stab.
like, this is for real.
That's the point in which I sent y'all that text that said, "What the fuck
What
is
is
this
this
show?
show?
Like seriously, what's happening here?" Because I'm watching the show. You get right to a point where you like, okay, this is what's happening, and then something else changes it. And I get we early on in the show. I mean, really, really
We're
early
halfway
on.
through. We're more than halfway through season 1 now.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like some of this stuff, like, bro, what?
Dude, was that the polar bear?
No, let's
What do
not,
you mean
let's
by
not
that?
keep doing that.
No, because dude, there's so many things in this one
I mean,
alone.
Sorry, man,
there's
like-
definite parallels. It's similarities,
Just
but I
like
don't want
that-
to.
If you got another way to describe the end of that scene with Jade, where he was like this, clenching, hiding from the second blow, and the screen came from white and faded down. Like, I mean, come on, is that not the flashes?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what
I
that's
didn't
what
even
it
think of
is.
that.
But it's like
I was
don't.
just thinking of more or less of the like, okay,
But there's some
in
time
Lost-
blipping
in Lost,
there.
I think what was that, episode 2, 3, when the polar bear came out of the fucking jungle?
Okay.
So the polar bear comes out of the jungle. You're like, all right, what the fuck is going on here?
right.
It was a-
You know, so this was kind of that moment for me a little bit. Was like, even though there's been more than that, but like the Civil Wars guy appearing zombie style, middle of the day out of nowhere. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Didn't he actually
here?
talk?
No, I don't think he said anything. He
I
just
thought he said
just
something.
posted up and was like, I'm gonna shoot this musket at your
I
face.
feel like
right
he
now.
said I might have to. I looked at it.
Either way, it was
twice
definitely
myself.
like Civil War era.
It was Civil War. He had the Union was it the
Union
Union
Army.
Army
He was, the hat on.
uniform.
So the
The
North.
bodies in the trees.
were either people fighting to keep slaves.
I don't.
right?
I'm assuming that based on what happened afterwards. But when I first saw the bodies in the trees, I just saw bodies in the trees. I wasn't thinking about. I was just like, damn, his bodies in the trees, and it's like falling down on what's his name, Jade or whatever.
Yeah. Well, he touched it, and then it started dripping on his hand. He's like, "What?" And
Yeah.
he looked up, and it
But
was just
why
like
is it that he's able
something
to see
out of Game
these
of Thrones?
See, to
Yeah.
me, this all screams like what you're not wanting, really.
What's that?
Supernatural, witchcrafty.
I'm good with time travel and time
Curses.
dilation kind of stuff, which is kind of what we had a minor discussion about that the other day that might apply here, but like I'm good with it being something like that, but I don't want it to be a curse and all that stuff. It
I
feels
feel
like,
like it's a
So
curse
do you think,
because
like-
of what's happening with the young lady, with speaking with people
Well,
who were
but-
there before them.
but that's not necessarily
okay.
curse as opposed to the what were you talking? You were talking about some show where the gods were actually real or something, like there was proof of them. Like in this thing, that's what happened here. The God that is speaking to Sarah
proved itself.
proved itself to them.
Right.
To
Whatever-
the easiest person ever to convince that
Whatever
the
entity
God
that
thing
might
is
be.
real, the priest.
So,
But-
so here's a good question. Speaking of time, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, you're good.
Okay, it's time dilation.
Cutting off.
I'm here to start conversations.
God damn, I'm trying to think of how to say this right. Did that event that happened to Jade,
Mm-hmm.
right? Did that happen to both of them?
To the
Him
guy in the
and
tree?
the Civil War soldier?
Yes.
Like,
I would
was that
think
like
so.
so? The Civil War soldier was currently saw him. He's back in his time,
Yeah.
and he sees
And then
Jade
when
like,
he
"Who's you?"
stabbed-
Bow, and just starts
Yeah.
shooting at the guy because
Yes.
he looks fucking crazy.
Again, I don't mean to go to Lost, but when they're blipping through time, they start getting shot at in the outrigger. Like that was by somebody from the
Oh, that's
past.
kind of cool. I actually
You know what I
kinda
mean?
like that idea. Like I was sitting here waiting. I was like, "Don't lose this! Don't lose this! Don't lose this! Don't lose this!" Like,
Oh,
so
what's
I was
gonna-
waiting for
say
you guys to finish. I was
So-
like,
so what's
I gotta
gonna-
keep this. I'm like, so I don't like. Right. No, I didn't
What's
think of it
going to
till
wind
just
up
now.
happening
Oh,
is
right.
we're going to actually have to do a deep dive on Lost in comparison with this show.
Right.
I don't know if you seeing this coming together that way, but
Because the rules don't necessarily apply unilaterally. Like it's
Right.
not like if it happened in Lost, it's canon here. It's not.
yeah, but
I'm
there's
just
a lot
seeing
of
so
similarities.
many things that are
There's a lot of
visually.
similarities. I'm trying to ignore them because I'm still like I can go with the whole aliens and curse thing and all that stuff. Jeremy's gonna step out for a minute. He drunk a lot of coffee today.
This episode also brought to you by Juul e-cigarettes. They don't call them that anymore, but I just did. Welcome to the past.
This episode is also brought to you by Extra long-lasting flavor.
Long-lasting commercials brought by How to Watch TV podcasting.
Listen, what's going to happen is one of you sponsors are going to bow. You're going to bend the knee. You're going to start sending us stuff, or we're going to start defacing your product. We're going to take tape and we're going to put it across there, and we're not going to show it.
You know what we're going to do? I'm going to cover up this E, and it's just going to say extra.
Extra. So that's different from extra.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Anyways, what were we
You're
going to say,
losing
Jeremy?
money in here.
Listen, if it happens, it happens. I'm good with whatever we got going on.
But no, listen, seriously.
I can't find anything else random
About
to
this-
grab. I can't.
Yeah, no, you're good.
ShamWow.
Yeah.
So no, listen, but seriously,
Go on.
my earlier thesis was that that these guys were abducted by aliens of some sort. There were some things that happened in this episode that kind of solidified that for me. I could still be wrong. It could be a curse. I could lean towards a curse because of the stuff that happened with Jay.
That doesn't sound very solid.
But no, I'm saying it's solidified a little bit more. We were spitballing.
You mean you
before.
got a little bit more
But
info
to me,
towards
that
your
whole
supporting your
thing
theory.
about
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the wiring and all this stuff.
Oh, here he
working,
goes about the fucking wire again.
What's the?
Right.
Speaking of,
Listen, you're just trying
middle.
to.
Hey, look, middle of the show. There's a dude. Go to YouTube and go look at the.
Who are you shouting at?
That guy right there.
Oh,
he
I
knows
thought
who
you
I'm
were
talking
looking
to.
at me. Sorry.
You go to
say
YouTube
relax.
and go and watch the trailer for the show called We Own This City. It's made by the people who made The Wire. It's on HBO, and I promise you this shit look good as hell. We need to put a screen up here somehow and play that. Man, listen, Joe, when you see this trailer, you're going to love it.
Okay.
It's on its way
I
already.
believe you.
They got Marlo from The Wire playing a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got my girl, Ruby from
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, Lovecraft Country. She's like the main character. Dude, I'm already in love with the show. I saw the trailer. I was like, yeah,
That's
I'm
one of
watching
those
every
shows-
episode of that.
I heard that they did not get picked up on HBO for another season, but I hope that show somebody picks that up for another.
They better do it
season.
quick before the flame dies down, before people forget.
Because it was good. I enjoyed
you
Lovecraft
doing?
Country.
I was just adjusting the logo because I forgot to change it when I restarted the computer.
Oh, hey, whatever.
Just doing that
On
live.
a live edit.
Live admin.
Listen, man, we working this thing.
I don't want to
out.
edit this later.
Right.
Shout out to the shirt maker from the South Side, Big Real. You know who he is. Israeli the Don, Erupt's finest. Hello, the T-shirt. It's not a sponsor. It's just me shouting out my people.
So this one started with like a kind of weird church service, and one of the things that he said in there was how he came into this world screaming, like
And
kind
looking
of
for answers
sounded
before
like
we even knew the
the
question.
it sounded
It
like,
sounded like
a
they were talking about the
metaphor for the others. Yeah. The
How do you
preach.
feel
the
about
pre-
that before you go to the next point? How
What's
do you
that?
feel about the fact that we haven't seen the others in, 3 episodes now?
Well, we saw him at the end of this one.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
No, dude walked to the window and
Oh, that
Right,
shit.
Right.
I was.
we'll get there.
Oh my
we'll get to
God.
that. But yeah, the
I
preacher,
would have opened the window for that bitch.
like, he says they're alive to
She didn't bite me twice.
what is the mom's name?
You could fit windows through the gaps in her teeth.
Do we remember the mom's name, the one with the annoying accent? No.
Annoying
the
mom.
from the family that crashed in the RV.
Yeah.
Annoying mom.
Diane.
Anyway, I don't know. But she was asking, "Are we alive?" And he said they are. Do we
Because
do we
they
believe
had
him?
the I believe him because the logic makes sense. The logic of it makes sense. You had the accident. You were already here.
I
You
actually
didn't have the
Right.
accident and then come here.
And
you
then
were
show
here
up there,
already.
yeah.
I like his response was basically like, okay, play it out. You are dead. What's different?
We still want to leave. We still gonna ask the
You're
same
still
question.
here.
Yeah, you are
Still-
dead. This is purgatory.
You still want to go home, and it was so what you're trapped, right? Like he was just like, so like what changes?
Right.
Like nothing. Like
Yeah, it's a different outlook on the way Jade was looking at it last episode with if we don't know where we are, we don't know how to escape it or something, or we can't escape it if
Right.
we don't know where
Right.
we are.
Right.
And yeah,
I think they're gonna attack this thing from all sides in order for the viewer to be satisfied that everybody in the show is doing something to address the whole issue, and that's smart writing. I appreciate that, because one thing I can say for certain is in this episode, some of the questions I had, they answered. I was curious as to whether or not the young lady was delusional.
do you think
answered that directly.
do you think the preacher is gullible? Do you think he really believes this stuff that he says in this episode?
I think he 100%
or
believes that girl is contacting somebody outside of this place.
I think we saw the proof essentially.
Yeah,
that
she
was
drew the logo.
I'm
but
saying,
he
like,
was in before that. Let's be clear. He was talking about we're book 74 of the Bible. Book 73 is all written, but who's to say they're done writing it? And he's putting all this weight upon what's going on to them.
He has a presupposition already of what could be, but
So he's
that
thinking,
doesn't-
oh, well, this is so
that
terrible
doesn't-
for
right,
us.
that
We
didn't
must
make
be
him
in the next.
necessarily a believer of what she was claiming.
Right.
What she was claiming.
That's what I was kind of getting at.
Once they prove that to him, now you have another domino fall. Okay, now we know that somebody's actually talking to this chick. So okay, that's fine. But here's the question: are they malevolent, benevolent, whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Well, first of all, they're telling her to kill a kid. I'm going to say right off the bat, they're probably not.
Yeah,
innocent
but that's
enough.
questionable, man. We don't know that kid. We always know.
We don't know
what's
the
What's the
kid.
first thing we ask
don't-
every
we
time we
don't-
talk
we don't
about
even
time
know that-
travel? Is it evil to go back in time to kill Hitler as a kid?
I love
she
the
could,
idea.
but she don't. She. Okay. He could have been referring to the kid in the white shorts when he said kill the boy. She didn't specify. There's two
Right.
boys per se.
She
That could have
probably
been referred
just
to-
misunderstood.
She hasn't seen the kid in the
I didn't even
white
think
or
about it. That's a
that
good
we
point.
know of,
Right.
and so he could have been referring to that kid. Kill that boy. You know, that's
Yeah.
the kid that's showing up now that everybody's gonna die. Kill that kid. This problem is solved. She just doesn't know about that kid, and this message is very vague and being carved into her arm, so it's like a traumatic experience.
Jeremy just came through with a Steph Curry type half court shot. That's
Yeah.
what's up, man. Can we get some cheers for that?
So, like,
I'm
I don't-
sorry, Joel. You actually showed me.
Sound effects.
We know it's-
I don't need any sound.
It didn't work.
You don't
That's
want
cool.
sound.
I heard
It
it.
did
Oh,
work.
it did work? I
I heard
didn't.
it.
Yeah, okay. Anyways.
Why you don't like sound effects?
So I just don't trust the preacher. I mean, many
Oh, no.
things
Well,
he's
you
said
that
already.
I think you said it from
The-
the beginning.
You know,
I think you
his
just don't
his knees are
like
not
preachers.
his knees are not as bad as previously advertised. He was able to catch her and tie her up in a basement in the bottom of the church. Wasn't that what was going on?
He
Like
wasn't
he's
gonna
just
let them kill that girl. He wasn't gonna let them kill that girl, even before the whole thing about him thinking that they writing a new book of the Bible or whatever. As a pastor or as a preacher, as a leader of the community, I don't think that character was gonna allow them to kill that young lady. You know what I mean?
But why
pick
why
that
did,
up?
why did he have such a why did he have no issue doing it for the dad who was drinking?
Because he probably viewed him as a sinner.
Oh, I got an answer because he has his own drinking problem.
Yeah.
I can't decide if that's from the outside.
that's
or from
definitely-
Oh
the-
no, we're definitely hearing it all
Yeah.
You're
out
hearing.
in the room. I'm hearing it in the room.
So you
yeah.
think the mics are?
I can't hear it in the headphones though, so
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to decide.
Well, then we're good. Yeah, I was just saying he
No, I
pulled out
don't
a
The war in Ukraine
pulled-
is happening outside of the
he
studio.
pulled out a bottle when he dug up the bag. I'm not trying to skip around too much, but he pulled out a bottle, and it was just like, of course, the priest has a drinking problem. You know what I mean? And then what was with the bloody priest outfit?
He killed somebody.
So he killed the real priest or the one
Right.
that, yeah.
Or something. That's what I thought when I saw him do that. I was
There's
like,
no
oh, so
way he's the
I was like,
actual
so he
priest.
murdered the priest. And no, you could tell by the way he kind of like danced around the, like, somebody asked him a question like that he should have known the answer to.
Oh, and he's like, go figure
Like-
it out for yourself,
like a
kind of an
bi-
answer.
It was kind of he danced around the question and kind of answered it in a vague way, you know, like, but it was a way to where they were satisfied. Like, okay, well, you know, no Bibles being present's weird. I mean, I
It's
don't know
specific,
why it's weird.
you
It's
know.
really
They
specific.
made sure they pointed it out.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think the implications of that are? Does that mean that the place is evil because there's no Bible there? Like, I think that's
the
what they're
presence
implying,
of the
right?
Bible would make it evil.
Okay, I like that.
I like I'd rather explore that road.
What's that?
Like what he just said. Like there being like Okay, no. Let's see what these people do in this situation with like the absence of religion or the absence of that to turn to, essentially.
Right.
Right.
What are you trying to do over there?
This sucks. Don't worry about it. It's
I
terrible.
couldn't believe it when the next thing that happened in the episode was them discussing pushing further out, and I just couldn't believe it that they were doing exactly what we talked about.
Yeah, and that means
I thought I was like, oh, these fuckers listen to our podcast.
Yeah, they
before
just-
film this
and
episode.
this is what's happening. They're gonna. This is when the okie doke is gonna come. It's gonna be something that's got to trip us up.
Yeah, because I'm loving that we got one, but I don't want to get all of them
And
along the way.
I expected death in this episode. I did not get it. I was wrong. I admit, but it
We got
feels,
4 left.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9.
But I feel like the next episode we gonna get a crap load of death, and they made reference to that. They said that the last time 2 cars came, everybody died. They made sure they referenced that
Everybody
one more
but-
time.
But
But the kid with the lunchbox and a revolver.
Victor.
Right, he's been mysteriously gone from the last 2 episodes.
Right.
Last we saw he was digging graves outside of Colony House, and then this episode we got some stuff at Colony House, but there was no mention of Victor. And then we get some other weird dude. But that aside,
Some other weird dude.
yeah, at the end,
Oh, that
the guy walking around.
I knew. I see. I thought that's at the very end. I thought that's where we were going to get what he wanted.
What's that?
Somebody dying violently, or lots of people
okay.
dying violently. And so when I saw this guy, I was like, all right, he might as well be wearing a red shirt. Like, we've never seen his face before. This guy's
Right.
gonna get killed right
Yeah,
now.
he did.
You know, but this is not necessarily true because they did continue to introduce main characters into shows. Well, you know, like Game of Thrones, like you didn't get some main characters till season 2, you know,
Right.
or Lost. I mean, even down the road, you got Desmond way later, you know,
Right.
Like,
So we skipped over talking about the whole wiring thing.
That's
Because I
literally
think
what happens next in the
Yeah.
episode.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So you just
I have
wanna
not
order-
actually.
I'm
I was just
I
to
skipped
check
to the
them
end.
off.
I'm sorry, yes, but that's fine.
I want to talk
Just
about
so that
the
we,
wiring.
the only
Yeah.
reason that I am going back to chronological is because even though we skip around, I feel like by hitting each point, we at the very least discuss it as fully as we possibly could.
Right. That makes
Because I
sense.
feel like we'll end up diving into something that we wouldn't have hit if we never went back to it.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah,
I'm with it.
the electrical outlets.
super weird.
What
Like
do what do you guys think about
it
that
totally
at all?
piqued my like the whole like interest meter went. You know what I mean? Like went to the right. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute, what? And the way he was just kind of on the table, like just kind of like look at this. There's no wires in here. Like what is like he was just so nonchalant about it. Like the husband when he found it out,
Yeah.
he was like, well, look at the plug.
Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam.
Yeah, right. I was wondering who he reminded me of. Right?
Yes, that's who it is.
Right.
In case anybody was wondering.
Right.
I'm so lost right now.
You don't know the guy from you don't know who the singer from Pearl Jam is?
I am an avid listener of rock and roll music. I am not familiar with those people on individual terms.
Well, look up Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's the main character from the, not main character, but the dad
I'm
from
gonna
the show."
say this like a question. Rest in peace.
Eddie Vedder? No,
No.
What?
no, Pearl Jam's
Jesus
still
Christ!
alive.
So I'm not that off.
Then who?
I didn't think he was dead.
Who
man,
died? Is that
I
what
want
you were
to take
gonna
a real
ask?
quick second just to
What
acknowledge
am I thinking about?
the 4 viewers we got right now. Say what up to Jay Wackers in the chat. What's up? And then we're gonna move on to my point about the wires. Like I said, I think that the wiring thing lends itself towards some kind of outside civilization that doesn't fully understand humans and just kind of sees our technology from the outside, knows what it does, but doesn't know the inner workings of it. So the wiring, actually having metal wire on the inside, they probably wouldn't see
I
that.
just missed that detail.
Right? These are details they wouldn't understand, so they kind of just.
So weird though. Like
It's super weird, but
but
it's
they
like
still work. The
right,
relationship
it
still work.
still works because this is magic and it's a curse from
That's
aliens.
another thing that like says magic to me is that type of stuff.
The light's still working.
The lights
I
working.
mean, it
without
feels
any-
very familiar. This whole digging under the house thing, like it reminded me of that movie that we won't dive any further into.
I was in that neighborhood.
I was thinking that.
I saw it.
Oh, you drove in a
that
neighborhood like that?
and I was gonna call you. I was panicking because my GPS. No, I shit you not.
working?
My GPS stopped working, and I had turned the corner like 5 times, and all the houses was almost exactly the same.
Dude, you started freaking out like in
Dude,
real life.
I was like,
dude,
I'm just gonna be here now.
You had that little panic moment where you're like, wait a minute, is this happening to me for
Right,
real?
it's like- and then I remembered, dude, I'm from the old school. I was born in 1977. I just looked at the direction on my, I'm driving south, so I'm just gonna keep going south. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I just used the directional to get out of that neighborhood. But I almost wound up in a movie.
Why does
That was ironic timing.
Right.
Like, I happened to play something up on here and muted it, and then I was just curious what this is looking like, if we can see our chat here. Why are you being quiet this week?
She said y'all was talking crazy to her. I'm just taking up for her. I don't know.
We were talking crazy to
We
her.
didn't say anything.
Last week y'all told her to shut up and all kind of shit.
Oh,
She
no,
was asking
that's
questions. It was really
That
rude.
was never a thing.
I was the only one taking up for her. But then I remembered she didn't even side with me in the argument.
Yeah, no, she sided with me.
Talk shit.
She
to
knew
her.
where it
Hey,
ended
look,
up.
talk shit to it.
You were like, yeah, all right, never mind. I'm not on your side anymore.
Okay, so theories on the electrical thing. Like, you're going with
believe that
aliens.
It's aliens, bro.
Anything?
I mean, like so you're asking me like what the cause of like what made this place? So that just takes it. You just keep like they're digging the hole. We're just gonna keep digging a hole of questions. Sure, okay. What made these models or imitations of living quarters and houses and
Oh, so you don't think this was a real place at one point?
where did they get their frame of reference? If it was a real place, there would be metal in the fucking electrical cords, Joel.
What if?
Well, no,
what
I'm
if it was
saying.
one of
Oh,
those
okay, fair
nuclear
enough.
testing
Like that to
sites?
me was like, all right, now, or something along those lines where
No,
it's
but there's
not-
power still running, so it's yeah.
So
it's-
there's
there's some
Indian power.
trickery involved
there's the
somewhere.
trickery. Like there's the okay, what's happening here? Like, and what are they gonna find when they keep digging?
Nothing. They're just gonna keep digging into something till they like.
And how did she not have any dirt like on her shirt or her face or her hands?
She works for HGTV.
She was standing in a hole that was like 2.5 feet deep. It was like up to her knees.
She's very
And
conscious.
she didn't have any dirt on her at all. Like, I find that very hard to believe.
It's in her.
I've
contract.
dug a hole before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I thought, okay, here we go with the
You're not
crazy
just gonna say
storyline.
You dug a hole and leave it at
I
that.
was glad that we didn't dive into the whole,
We're gonna
oh,
leave it at
she
that.
must be crazy if she's digging a hole storyline. Like
No,
it was
I don't-
nice that he
felt a
understood
little
what
bit
she was
like,
talking about.
Close Encounters.
I don't think that it didn't come off to me like that. Like that's what they were trying to do is like make her look crazy.
Yeah.
I think she was just like, all right, here's a clue that he just showed me this morning. I'm going to follow this until I can't follow it anymore. If it leads into the basement to digging a hole, that's what I'm going to do. To me, man, like if you're in that situation, like what, like you've been saying from the beginning, why not?
Oh, I would be down for
Let's
this.
dig
So
the hole. I
everybody-
guess.
Absolutely.
I don't like digging's probably one of my least
So everybody
favorite
from the
activities
town
to
is
do
trying to find the
ever.
answers, and the
But
people
let's-
at
I don't think
Colony House not doing shit.
everybody in town. I don't think everybody
No.
in town is trying to.
I
find
Well, not
think-
everybody, but all the characters we've met individually, they all seem to be trying to
Yeah,
find
well,
answers.
the people that
and-
just
and
got here are.
a little bit, because even the
Boyd
mother,
is, and so is the
Boyd-
priest a little bit.
the mother from the Asian lady, the mother from the restaurant, when she saw that Jade was drawing in his
Okay, so
in
people
his
are
little
coming
thing,
around to get
she
clues.
went and said, "Hey, look, somebody did this before." You
Right.
know what I'm saying? She is like people in the town seem like they're
So
engaged in trying to.
That room
figure
was
out
a
what's
room
going
full
on.
of like the old people's like people that were there before his belongings. Is that what that room
And
was?
she found the bracelet that she made him.
Oh, that's another
So what's
one.
up with that? That's time travel
That
stuff.
was
now.
another one right there. Was what is that about?
We
right
talking
there?
time travel at this point.
We're talking time travel?
Yeah, it has to be
Why does it have to be time travel? Explain.
because okay, you can have. First of all,
Let's be clear with the facts of what happened so far. She made him a bracelet out of his dad's
when they were
boot
younger,
laces,
right?
screwed something up on it, and then they lost it when the daughter was born
Right,
at the hospital.
right.
Okay, that's all we know about where that bracelet last was.
True.
Go on.
You just shitted on my time travel. Point,
I know,
but
that's why-
I'm gonna
Well,
still
no,
make
when
it
that's
and
why
show
we,
you how
well,
gangster.
but that's
it
when
is.
you said time travel. I was kind of like, I don't know because what To me, it's just like I don't know. Like
I'm about to
maybe
show you how to steal time travel.
time displacement.
I don't know if it's any of those
I
things.
think
I think if we
time
go,
travel, because they
Go
gonna
on.
find the bracelet in the RV. It's always been there. I don't know what's happening.
He lost
Listen,
it
the
in
show-
the RV. I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I found that a few months ago. I didn't tell you.
I feel like
yeah,
the
I
show,
never mentioned it.
I was
feel like
down here doing the laundry and I set it on that shelf.
I feel like this show is
You're like,
is,
been digging
is-
this hole all day for no fucking reason,
Right.
you asshole.
I feel like this show is producing a lot of questions, and I enjoy that in literature and art. It's a lot of questions being asked. I asked one thing of the producers and the writers of this show: please answer all these shits.
Well,
Don't-
enough that you can piece the
No, just
rest
all of
together. I
Just
don't
all
need
of
it spoon fed
Because-
to me.
I've done a little writing myself. I'm no professional. I haven't published anything, but one thing I try to do is make sure I don't like have loose ends where I'm like writing questionable material and then when somebody questions it, like, oh, that part don't need to be answered. It's open for interpretation. If to me that feels lazy. So if you're gonna do this, even if it's a quick answer, it could be a simple answer. It could be a goddamn stupid
But are
answer.
you
But
ever
just give
are
me
you
an answer.
ever really satisfied with it as much that way when they leave a little bit ambiguous? Like for example, did you ever watch The Leftovers?
Yeah, it was one of my favorite
the
shows.
ending
for the
of
first
that show-
season and a half.
That the ending of that show. Oh, dude, season 2 was amazing. That was the one where they were in the town, right? Where they went to Texas.
Wait. How many seasons?
There
did
were
that go?
3. There were only
Okay,
3.
so the first 2.5 seasons. Sorry.
Yeah. But the ending of that show left it up to our decision on whether or not we believe Nora. So I feel that's better to me than they're factually telling us, oh, she did go to that other place and come back, versus us having to decide whether we believe
Well,
her or not.
I've made that point myself that sometimes questions don't need to be answered. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to stay consistent in that. But what I'm saying is,
Oh, that's
besides, that kid was gonna come in here and take a piss. But
What is that?
besides that was weird. But besides the
lost
question
it.
being answered, sometimes I just want some answers.
I want them to know.
Yeah,
Here's my qualifier on it. I don't care if they tell me everything. I want them to know the answer. Like the people writing it, at the very least, they need to know the answer to anything they don't tell us. Because at least then they were basing it on something.
Some stuff don't need to be answered. I'll give you an example. I don't need the answer.
Is he arguing both sides of this?
No. I'm splitting.
You just come back
I'm
in a
splitting
bit.
the hair on this one because
Go
I'm
on.
saying that I can understand why some stuff don't need to be answered.
Yeah.
But when you present a major thing like the electrical sockets and all that,
Right.
you don't need to tell me how it works. Just tell me why it's put together in that way. Like somebody who made this didn't
Eventually, you
understand it.
mean, right?
You understand? Just give me an answer for it. I don't have to understand all of the minutia of it, but just something where it's like
I
you
want
can
some
just.
minutia, but I get
But
where
I
you're
just don't
coming
want
from.
you to
yeah.
just say I'm presenting all these mysterious questions, and then it's like, oh, the answer is it was vampires. Well, bitch, have vampires do technology?
No, it's
You know
going
what I'm
to
saying?
it's going to
I
be
need
magic.
something.
The answer's going to be magic. Just
Joel
watch.
is on the record for magic.
I promise you, no matter what it is,
back to
the
one of our
answer's going to be it's magic, and it's the biggest cop out thing ever. But I enjoy those stories for the most part. I like sci-fi stuff,
Right.
Kind of based on in reality.
That was one of our more like heated podcasts, the magic discussion.
Oh, dude, we
Game of
tried to
Thrones.
figure it out.
We
What-
just were like, and it was to a point where we were both getting like frustrated. Like, but we were just talking and saying the same fucking.
it's
things.
not like we weren't agreeing
Nobody
with each
had-
other. We
No,
just
it
couldn't-
wasn't. It was just like
We were pissed that we
and
couldn't
were
figure
like,
out an answer.
wait, and like you would ask this like really well thought out question. I can't think of anything specific right
Right.
now, and I would look at you and be like, magic. You go, fuck that. Like,
Yeah,
no,
that's
like,
not
that's not what I
acceptable.
want.
Yeah, I don't want every answer to be, oh, well, it was magic, and so even though they didn't run the, let's go with aliens for a moment here. Even though the aliens set up this place and made the stuff work, even though it wasn't set up right, that was because they used their magic. You know what I mean? Like if they said they used their technology
Just say
and
that.
gave us
and
a
that was
hint
it.
of it, better.
You don't even have to explain the technology.
See, to
Just
me-
say that somebody did this and that happened.
But it's still
When you say technology,
alien
to me,
technology is magic.
you're on the board. Like you're on board of a spaceship. You're in a hollow deck. I mean, like the level of technology to put this together is not. It's not
A place that you
fathomable.
can't get
It
out
just
of, that you
doesn't-
stumble
It
into.
just doesn't seem like it fits here.
A voice from the chat
But I
just told
guess-
us that it was a simulation. So a simulation could fit that.
Same
but
thing.
okay,
if
but
it's
then
a
by
simulation,
Again, the level of technology involved to create a simulation to this degree is not. It's not
Who
fathomable.
benefits from this? Like I'm failing to see any. Like I'm trying to look at it from the outside and see if, let's say, somebody has this set up and they're doing an experiment or a test on these people.
right?
What could they possibly be gaining from it?
Right.
Like that's my issue with it.
If it's something like that, it's
If
like
we click an
it's
answer,
a sick game. It's like a somebody just wants to see how these people.
but I'm
react.
assuming even Squid Game had an end goal. I never watched the
watched
second.
that? I
No,
didn't
God
watch
no. But I'm just saying, I'm assuming that they had an end to that game.
We are not Squid Game.
This
lovers at
this
this
one
podcast.
doesn't. I can't
couldn't-
wrap my brain around how they could be getting anything out of sending random people or not so random people to this lost town in the
saw the,
middle of who
What
knows
the
where.
question you just asked is like a huge explanation.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's Endgame.
Right.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
ever saw the
the
movie,
whole like why
the
is,
house,
like,
the cabin in the woods,
Yes.
where it was like the monsters, but it was also like a simulation. The monsters was real. The stakes were very high. The monster that could end all of the existence for humanity was real, but the cabin that they were in was a simulation meant to kind of push them towards, dying at the hands of these monsters. It's a really weird movie. Chris, what's the
thought
Thor,
Cabin in the
the
Woods
Thor
was-
actor? Chris Hemsworth is in
I
there.
thought it was just like another like scary movie. I didn't know it was.
No,
like
you
that.
should watch it. It's a movie where there's people, they built a simulation of a cabin in the woods, and they have all these cursed items and stuff in there that bring these monsters forth, and these monsters are on like this like the collector style conveyor belt elevator type of thing, where they're all in these little cages. And the cages, they open up and they unleash the monsters, and if they kill everybody, then humanity lives another year. If they don't do the sacrifice the right way, then we die to the ancient monster or whatever the hell it is. But the long story short, basically, it's a simulation and it's supernatural. You know what I mean?
So a little mix of both isn't a
Yeah,
bad
and that was a
explanation,
classic.
but,
So I
like,
mean, I could see
guess
somebody
that's
else
better than
tapping
just
into that.
magic.
So I could see somebody else tapping into that. It was actual zombies. It was actual vampire type stuff. It was actual merman.
Yeah, but saying actual is ridiculous. Like it is. It's ridiculous. Like how many times do we have to go to these tropes? Like how many times do we need another vampire movie or werewolf?
I-
Or like invent something new. Like I'm sure
listen,
this
I'm on the
is,
same
but
page with you.
but
I
they
like
all
new
feel
stories.
the same. All of these the monster of the week.
Don't check out on the show yet.
I'm not. I'm
Don't
just
check out. I'm
venting
just
my
saying.
frustration
Yeah,
with
I was
that.
about to say, just don't check
in
out.
general.
We still don't know what the answers are.
Oh God, no!
And like
There's
I
no
said,
way I'm
the
bailing on
focus-
this.
Like, do we need another iteration of like Snow White? Like those
Right.
old, like the Brothers Grimm fairy tale type stories.
It feels like all
That
like
burp was
even
brought to
Walking
you by
Dead,
Stella.
like all those things, it's just zombies and like all of them are the same, and
I
it's
get it.
like I don't want there to be these specific rules on them that
Right.
are tied to some entity that was made up hundreds of years ago, as opposed to something these people thought of.
Okay, can
And
I have-
talismans
right
leads me to
now,
believe that I'm wrong.
Right.
The fact that there's talismans and they can keep them out of their house unless they invite them
I
in,
don't
and then
think
as
they
long as they
can.
have the
That's all
I
talisman.
don't
magic.
think they can. I think this. I
It's
think,
all-
I think
it's
it's
all
bullshit.
magic curses.
I think that's bullshit.
drawing
and
the
they're gonna show
circle.
that is bullshit, and I think they just fucking with them.
This could be true too, but
I
drawing
think-
the salt circle around like the doorway where the demon can't come in, they can't
Right.
cross the salt circle.
That kind of stuff.
Like
Ugh.
that's like
I got you.
Or the one in the
talisman is along those lines.
the one in the basement, like in that subterranean place where you saw the dude
was that
crushed
same
by the
mark.
rock. That was there, so like that place is protected.
But who knows?
or
Because
something.
he saw that same mark is on the ceiling of the thing that he saw in the tree.
I got
It's
one
the
for
same
you.
symbol.
Right.
I
Go
think
on.
all of this stuff is made to keep the people off balance. You don't just take hope from somebody. If there's no hope for survival, people just kind of give up. But if you give them a little bit of hope and make them feel like there's something they can do to escape the situation, they'll keep going. They may be rats in a maze. They may be pawns on the chessboard. They use that analogy already. But from my perspective,
And he was carving chess pieces for a new chessboard that must have gotten destroyed.
It got soaked in blood. That's
It
what
was
it was.
soaked in
I was
blood.
kind of annoyed that he didn't go, yeah, I'm going to just like seal these. They'll be sealed with my dad's, you know what I mean? Like my dad's part of these chess pieces. Like that's kind of morbid to think, but I would have at least
that's kinda
considered that.
fucked up, Joel. I don't know.
He immediately seemed like, oh, well, these are ruined.
yeah, because it's blood. Listen, man, I don't know my dad. I know my mom. If my mom's blood was on some shit,
If chess was that important to
away.
you, if the thing that her blood ended up on was something that you two shared, you wouldn't at least for a second hesitate and go, I'm not going to throw away the last chess set we ever played
it
on
would be
because
a
her
hard
blood's on
decision.
it.
I'll be honest, but
That's all I'm saying.
ultimately, I'll be
seemed
like,
flippant
man,
for him.
Burn this shit.
He was just like, oh, well, these are ruined now.
I mean, listen, man. He's a sheriff, and he's a deputy in a town that doesn't exist. You don't expect, and he looked like he about what 20.
Right.
You don't expect this guy to make rational decisions.
Okay, so we have to go back to the them doing the signal. The
Trying to pick up the radio.
Jade
signal.
and the dad going to do the signal. Again, felt very season 1, episode 3 of Lost. Like, we're going to go triangulate a signal. Let's get us up to a tree. And,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I was trying to not think
In
it.
the
but it was just-
foresty area,
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, come on.
yeah. And then
Am I doing
so
something to my microphone
You
cord?
good? I didn't want you to say nothing. That's why I moved discreetly.
so that whole thing actually happened, right?
No.
The stuff with the guy. You think he was
I
hallucinating?
think he was hallucinating.
See, that's where that's what I'm saying. Like, did he just see that, or was that, like I'm saying, was that something that both of those beings were experiencing through time?
But if it did, he would have actually been stabbed. Whereas it was almost like some sort of hologram thing where it comes in and shoots at him, and that's what we get.
Do we have a relevant discussion?
The last 2 comments. I just want you to take a look at that. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
It could be a
That was interesting,
hologram.
yeah.
That is interesting, right?
The I mentioned the underground layer with the symbol in it,
Right.
and she said maybe the person or the one that got stuck under a rock was through a faraway tree. Like that's where it put it. Like
Yeah,
the
she
rock's
said-
not there. but it's
Or the
interesting.
previous people set a trap for it because they knew that that's where that faraway tree led.
And they would toss it in there.
What if
They did
All right.
say people
I'm
could
go-
go through the faraway trees.
I'm
We didn't hear
going
that
way
these
out
things
on
can
a
be
limb
others.
with this one. What if the rock that he was trapped under was a small rock and it was big when it came out on the other side?
Well, we literally saw a rock go through and come out the same
Yeah, but, I
size,
mean,
but
the
that
rules
doesn't
don't
mean
change,
he did
yeah.
say things can go weird with it. So, yeah, no, I'm down with that.
There's
That's
so
a
many.
possibility.
See, and listen, this is beautiful. I love the discussion. I love how they present all these questions, but I literally need action now. Next episode, I need action. I need to see what's up with that chick.
What did you think about the flower thing at the
I'll
beginning?
give you that because the action sequence in the, like when they were running, trying to get to the doorway and the daylight was going away, like that was pretty tense scene. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know, like so. Yeah, like give me more of that.
I will
need
say
some of
I'm-
that to
That's like,
bring me
yeah.
back into.
I will say I'm
excitement for
glad
the show.
that the show hasn't been just that. Like,
I'm
that it
glad
hasn't
didn't
been-
ruin
it would
too
get,
heavy
it would
on
get
the horror.
tiring. It would get tiring. I can see that.
Because there's no hope in horror.
What did you
things
just
like that.
ask?
What happened to the what episode? Was the box?
Which
That was
one
episode
it?
3 or 4, wasn't it?
3 or 4 or something like that.
Okay, so like that's where like all right, those like the beginning in the first episode and then that are like really the only 2 like horror sequences per se that we've gotten. so
Right, we
far.
got her killing
the rest
a
of
couple
it has
people.
been like the like
presenting questions.
Presenting questions and clues, and let's figure
Right.
this shit out, kind of thing. Which is, yes, I appreciate that way more than the feeling the very beginning of the show gave us was like, oh, this is going to be a jump scare fest.
Right.
You know,
What?
That question you just asked about the flower or something. You said,
Yes.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think of the flowers?
"What flowers?" Am I
There
missing
were
something?
flowers left on the porch of the what's the place, Colony House, and Julie, is that her name, the daughter?
Yeah, the daughter.
She
picked him up.
found him and picked him up and took him up to her room and put him in a flower pot. Then at the end of the episode, the random dude was walking through there and he went to the window and he goes, "Oh, I see you love the flowers." He was putting those bundles of flowers
Out there
together
for her.
for her, but Julie found him earlier in the day
But how the hell did she get them? If
because he made another one when he found out that those were gone.
did they say that specifically?
No.
I'm
Just-
assuming that
that's your
because he.
That's my
'cause-
assumption,
right?
yes.
Or like, yeah, this dude used to be a florist or whatever, so he puts together these cool like things.
He's,
and
he's an incel, and he's willing to have relations with scary
They got to him.
zombie monster.
They got to his head. However it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go on record and saying
So
that
these things can play the long game.
Right, it's not in any hurry.
they're not in a hurry. They made
No,
that.
right,
They
but that's what I'm saying,
specifically
but they
said
can
they're
do
not
that,
even
like-
They
in a
said they
hurry.
never run.
They never run,
They
and
can-
they know you don't have anywhere to go.
That's what I'm saying. So they can do this thing where they come to the window every night. Oh, I like the flowers.
She said, "When will I ever? When will I be able to
can
come in?"
inside? You know.
Right. So, couple things. The storage area. So that storage area was for people who have died in the town, or is that just for the people that live there? Because it was confusing when it made it sound like when the old lady from the restaurant brought Jade there, he goes, "Oh, is this from all the people that like?" He kind of implied that
I
way.
thought that's what it was.
But the mom and Ethan were bringing it there for storage. Like she was told it was storage, so she was putting that stuff in storage as opposed to like we're dead and we're leaving it here.
Well, it could be that. It could be both of those things.
Okay. It could be living
like, it's a
storage and then it
thing.
stays there
Well,
after they
if
die.
somebody dies there, then it stays there. And a whole bunch of people died all at once at one point.
Okay, but see, right now, what you just said was that the stuff in that storage is from people that died, but she found the belongings.
Well, no, I'm
for her
saying
own.
it's possible.
No, I'm saying what he just said was
We
that
think it's both. Like
So-
that they when they are alive they're using it for storage, but
Right.
that also after you die it just kind of stays there. If that makes sense.
time travel.
Go on. Explain.
Then that bracelet got. I don't know the answers to these questions.
Well, if you got to say time travel, you got to back it up a little bit, right?
I mean, to me, I feel like
Just help us understand.
I feel like that there's a possibility
Yeah, go ahead.
that we're doing some time dilation, some time travel, some timeline jumping type of stuff going on here.
I have zero issue with time travel stuff. I'm down for it, by
I
the
think
way.
that's what we're seeing right now. I just don't think that they present it in a straightforward type of way, which would lend itself to being questioned. But I think that realistically, yeah, I think that they at some point he's gonna find that bracelet. He looked at that
But
RV.
they're not even at home. Who knows when they got
Here's
the
what I'm
RV?
saying, though.
She
This
was
is-
like
here's what I'm
18
saying.
or 16.
When he went out to the thing, they could have made him look at he could have looked at the RV like, man, we almost died in the RV. Whatever the reference or whatever reason why he looked at the RV the way he did, I feel like at some point he wants to go in there and get some more stuff that belongs to them. You know what I mean? I feel like it's going to really freak them out. I think
if
that'll
there's
be
two of them, I would like to see how that
they
plays out if
find
there's
another
two.
version
Yeah.
of that bracelet. You know?
Well, especially since his line was that that's what I thought was interesting. Where did I write that down? Accidents are the best part because it makes it one of a kind.
Right.
So he said that was his philosophy to her having screwed up the bracelet when she made it
Right.
and being able to point that out on the bracelet. But accidents are the best part kind of thing. Like that. Did I lose me? Yeah, I think. Oh, I'm back. Okay. It made me question about them getting there because they're not there because of an accident, but they had an accident when they got there. So like it made me think of the first episode and like how that philosophy could tie into this show and it being the best thing. You know what I mean? Like maybe this town is saving them from themselves on the outside. And maybe they're fighting it and they don't need to be as much. That part's wishy-washy, but you get the first part I kind of stand behind.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a possible scenario, is that this place is actually helping them and trying to keep them from whatever bad stuff might have happened on the outside. To be fair, and I just thought of this, they were about to get divorced and now they're not.
And
so who's to say what the other
guy might have
people's...
died from alcoholism or alcoholism related kidney diseases. Here's the question. I want to say this. I want to acknowledge Jay Wackers in the chat because she giving us heat right now, and I gotta go here.
Is it at least what we're talking about?
Yes. She said maybe the family has been there in that town before, and they left the bracelet and forgot it. Maybe they lost it there the first time they were there.
Well, they said they lost it in the.
Then she
at
doubled
the
back on
hospital.
herself and said that's not a real theory. It just popped in her head. But listen,
No, I like any
like
thoughts
it.
like that because you
I
can.
like it.
Because we can always, anybody can say anything. That's why when you said time travel, I'm like, well, lay it on me. What you
Yeah.
got? And you're like, like we can talk through anything and either find out is it plausible or is it ridiculous.
My thoughts on this is real simple, man. We got a boatload of complex questions. We got a boatload of scenarios that it could be. But for me right now, I need to see what these things are. Just answer that big question first. If those things aren't real, and all those things, here's a question we haven't even talked about. We talked about this episode for I don't know how long this
50
episode.
minutes.
We're about 50 minutes in, and we haven't even discussed whether or not these apparitions that they're seeing in the daytime are the same things that they're attacking them at night. Are these two different entities?
What two things are you talking about?
So you got the black Union soldier.
Okay. So just that one, not
Black
the
Union soldier,
kid in
the
white.
little kid in white.
So wait, are we mixing the kid in white and the Union soldier? Because,
Why not?
well, not because I don't want to
neither one of
mingle
them presented
races,
as
but
monsters.
but
But no, I'm
because
saying neither one of them presented
but
as
one
monsters.
blipped away and one was clearly displaced in time. Now you can
That
make
kid's
this. You can
clearly
make the same argument for the kid. Although we covered it before by saying he's doing a Narnia kind of thing where he's stepping out and popping back in and time
I
is
still
passing,
think
like
that's
that
a
Rick and Morty
possibility.
episode.
I
That
don't
one's
know
so
what's
good.
happening, man.
But
They scaring me with this stupid ass show.
the bracelet thing, they said he
don't
lost it when she was born. So to me, that almost sounds like she is part of this, the daughter. That
The
it's
dead
about that. No, Julie or whoever the daughter is that's staying in Colony House. It was a dead son.
Oh, it's in
But
the-
when
yes,
when
my
Julie,
bad.
their oldest daughter, was born, is when he lost this bracelet. So it makes me think that something was kind of decided about her when she was born, that she was going to come to this town or something like that.
Well,
Does that?
we know for a fact that she's in danger. So we're gonna see whether or not she's some kind of child of destiny or something in this next episode. Because clearly that dude is ready to open a window. He's ready to let that chick in at the end, or the guy that you saw at the end
Right.
of the episode.
Right.
The only reason why we would even care about that is because one of the main characters is in that house, in the Colony House. That's Julie, the daughter. So the fact that she's there, they presented us with a scenario. She might die soon. You understand what I'm saying? So the only way, and actually we haven't embraced anybody at Colony House except for her and the son and
His girlfriend. Yeah.
the girlfriend and lunchbox guy,
Right,
lunchbox
Victor.
Pistola. So what I'm saying is, he said 6 people gonna die, some shit like. He didn't say the specific number, but I almost feel like
No,
he was thinking about 6th grade.
He was That's where we saw him at in his progress.
Right.
I think he was digging a grave for everybody in town.
Man,
I think that's what his goal was when he
and
started
that's
doing
my
that.
point. So they've presented the scenario in which she's in danger now. They've made that very clear. This guy's getting ready to open his window for this chick.
Did we find out who that rando was? That guy. Like,
No.
but
I
we've
never even saw
established
him in
he's
the show. He
he's
just
the
walked-
florist because he used to be a
He
florist.
just walked up the stairs, and I was like, "Why is this dude creeping around the house?" And then next thing you know, boom. Yeah.
Okay, so a couple other things. One of them being what is this lonely dragon story?
They
The
keep
kid,
talking about the
kid
Chronocle.
references it every episode. He talks about this is like the treasure room. This is like the blah blah. So how do I find out more about this story?
To me, it felt like.
Is it a made up
have
one
you ever
in
watched,
this world?
Have
do
you
you
ever
think?
watched Stranger Things?
I'm somewhere in season 3. Yeah.
So in the first season, they kept talking about the Demigorgon.
Right.
It was the part of their role playing game, the Dungeons and Dragons
Dungeons,
style
right.
role playing game. So I felt like that was just kind of a reference to that, but the fact that they keep talking about it and they keep talking about this mystical quest.
Well, no, it sounds like a story he's read.
Yeah, but
Like, as
let's
opposed to-
Google it now.
As I tried, I don't know how to spell Chromonocle. I don't know how to spell
You got
that.
to turn the subtitles on when the show is on.
Okay, good. That would have made sense. I usually have them on. I don't know why I didn't see how they spelled that. But that's interesting to me. I bet you there's
What was
going to
the
be.
name of the story? It was the lonely.
It was the
Cave
lonely
or
the lonely dragon.
I don't want to. If I spell that in Google and I wind up on some watch list,
For looking up the lonely dragon.
you never know.
It's going to be like a Bruce Lee movie or something.
Bruce Lee, heartbroken. The Dragon of Lonely Island. There's a Lonely Dragon paperback book that looks like a kids movie, a kids book.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a kid's story. So we should read The Lonely Dragon.
I'm not about to pay for it.
You know we'll be able to find a PDF on Google.
I'm about to.
Okay, so I'm going to look that up because that'll answer those questions. Did you notice the priest buried his bag in the middle of... Oh, you got something?
Here it is.
Okay.
High up in the mountains, far above the clouds, where the earth meets the sky, there lived the lonely dragon. The dragon embarks on a great journey, traveling far and wide in search of a friend, another dragon just like her, and in the end she does find true friendship, but not quite in the way she imagined. High up in the mountains, far above the clouds, blah, blah, blah. Where the earth meets the sky, little dragon.
Is there anything about this is called The Lonely Dragon?
That's just the what do you call it, synopsis of the book. They don't really go into detail after that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to check something out on that because I bet you it's one of those things that if there is a real story on it, that there's going to be some tie-in from it that we might be able to glean
that's
from
damn near
that.
the exact name. So the Lonely Dragon is there.
Okay. Well, that's good to know then. I'm definitely going to have to check that
It
out.
says the Lonely Dragon is a book of adventure, magic, and intrigue. Takes you on a journey in a strange world where nothing is as it should be.
And here we are.
That's odd.
That's literally what this is.
That's odd. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I think that's going to have some...
They are giant creatures trying to take over the world, a lonely dragon who has lost power, and a magic stone.
Like a talisman?
Like a talisman.
Huh.
Man, if they made this goddamn show out of a kid's book, man, I'm going to find somebody outside to take this ass whooping for the show's creators. Don't do me like that. All right, I'm gonna look into it a little bit when I
Come on, though. That's a pretty good call.
That's actually pretty close.
I mean, what they described just then
Yeah,
was...
that's
It
actually
sounds like
pretty
it
close,
could be...
and I'm actually upset about
Okay,
it.
but read it one more time. That's quick synopsis that you just said. The one about the...
The stone.
Yeah, up to the stone part, yeah.
The Lonely Dragon is a book of adventure, magic, and intrigue.
Okay, so let's start. Adventure, magic. So we have intrigue, we have adventure so far, according to
Right.
the kid. And I'm assuring you there's magic. Go on. Sorry, adventure, magic, and intrigue.
Spots on my face, but anyway, it takes you on a journey in a strange world where nothing is as it should be.
I mean...
That's the part that kind of stuck out to me, right there. That kind of stuck out because that kind of lends itself towards what I was talking about as far as the electronics and all that other stuff.
nothing is as it should be here.
And there are giant creatures trying to take over the world. A lonely dragon who has lost powers and a magic stone.
Okay, so a lonely... hear me out on this one. A lonely dragon, okay? Who's in charge of this town?
The lonely guy.
The lonely guy whose wife died. What's happening to him right now?
He's losing his...
He's losing his powers because he's losing his ability to not have Parkinson's or whatever. Sorry, you know what I'm trying to say. He's losing his ability to have precision grip and not shake and stuff. I was trying to not be offensive by it, but
no, you're not
'cause it's
being offensive, but I get that's a hard one to try.
But
to
you know what I'm
navigate.
saying, like, and so what did it say about him again?
He lost his power and a magic stone.
He lost the magic stone?
Yeah, it said a lonely dragon who has lost his power and a magic stone.
Okay, I was thinking.
Oh, they got a PDF on
I'm
there?
thinking he lost his power, and the magic stone is what helped.
It's a 10-degree difference in here. Holy shit.
Yeah, I bet it's warm.
We had to do something about that.
Right. So we just
I'm gonna
stumbled
go
into
get us
something,
a,
man.
Yeah, this is crazy. We
wait.
found the lonely dragon.
Now you remember the kid talking about the
Yeah.
lonely dragon many
Kept talking about
times.
it. Listen to the synopsis for the lonely dragon.
So
I'm
is this
sorry.
an actual book that exists?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sorry for
So
the.
was this a surprise, or you just did this?
We were literally looking at
I
shit
put
up
what
right
is
now.
this lonely dragon story as a thing.
Damn, I done forgot.
Did he lose it? This is what happened.
It's about 15 different synopsises. Jeremy walked in and scared me, man. I get nervous when white people randomly walk in rooms.
I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah, I'm
Especially with the power haircut. It gives you a...
Man, listen, I thought I was gonna have to go get my manager.
Right.
Hold on. Well, here it is. I think this is it.
Strand out of place, and I'm looking
Why
at
is
it
it
in
not
reverse, and I
showing
can't
me?
fix it. My hands
You
won't
can't just
work
check
the
your
right
history.
way. Wait, what happened?
Somehow he lost it
I
in
don't
the
like
last
this
30
browser
seconds.
on here,
No,
man.
that's because you're using a...
No,
Samsung
listen.
phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's definitely because he's
Description:
using a Samsung.
high up in the mountains, far above the clouds, where the earth meets the sky, there
This is
lived
not-
a lonely dragon. The dragon embarks on a great journey, traveling far and
No,
wide.
no,
Oh,
this
that's
isn't
the
the
wrong
one.
joint.
It's in that. It's on that same page, isn't it? Like towards the bottom, there was a synopsis.
Oh no, I went to a different page. But long story short, basically, it's a magical land where things aren't what they're supposed to be, and there's a lonely dragon who loses his power and a magical stone. And
So I was hypothesizing, well, what if the chief or Boyd, what if he is the magical dragon, the lonely dragon who's lost his powers? His wife died, and he's losing his ability. You know what I mean? Like his abilities with his hands, so he's losing his powers, and he found a magic stone that saved them all. Mm-hmm. Essentially, so like they could be telling this children's story.
See, these are the types.
You
of
found
things,
it?
This type of thing right.
I'm gonna
here is
read this
exactly
one
the type
more
of thing that
time.
Lost it, and I hate. I'm doing it myself. But like
Right.
when you were like, oh, well, they brought up this book, and you would go and look up that book, and it would
And
be
it's got a
totally
on
completely,
theme,
like
yeah.
relevant to what happened in the episode, or something in the episode happened that like happened in that book. Like this, that's a huge clue.
Did you find
I'll
it?
read it one more time.
Okay, good.
This is my last time reading it because I don't like reading in front of the class. Anyway, The Lonely Dragon is a book of adventure, magic, and intrigue. It takes you on a journey in a strange world where nothing is as it should be. There are giant creatures trying to take over the world, a lonely dragon who has lost his power, and a magic stone. I went into the sample PDF to try to read more, but it's kind of
Like grainy and stuff. Yeah.
The
But,
whole
like-
thing's taking place in the kid's mind.
We're not
all a
gonna
dream.
Saint Elsewhere this, are we?
It's all a
We
dream.
can't.
Well, St.
It was all
Elsewhere
a dream.
hasn't been done in
I used to
damn
read
near
Word Up
40 years
magazine.
now. So, I mean,
I get it.
the
but
new
still.
generation wouldn't get the reference. They wouldn't
I
understand.
know, but I don't want that. Do you want that? Do you want it to be
No.
all in the kid's
I
head?
want these monsters to be something new and different.
Wait, it's all in the kid's head, and his brother Thomas is somehow involved.
Dude, wait, I mean, like, okay, so that's a really oversimplified way to say what I'm thinking.
Okay.
It could be way more complicated than that, but still, like, what if his vision...
Did you find anything about a Chromonocle in there? Sorry, what?
Remember
before
the,
you
the
close the page.
discussion at the very beginning, the very first scene of the show, when his sister was killing the monster?
Yeah, his
finger
little
puppets?
characters or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that was all I had to do with this story, The Last Dragon, and he was mad because whatever character got killed.
I'm just gonna say Chromonocle in here, and hopefully the voice recognition understands it, because I'm not trying to spell that shit.
What's a chromonocle?
The Chromonocle. I don't know. I got the Chronicle. I'm not doing this fuck.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Chromonocle is too weird of a word to say. Google Chromonocle. Nope, Michael Cromon novel. That didn't work. Okay,
I
so
got Crokinole.
so we're gonna look more into the Lonely Dragon, and you should too, because there has to be a
Hey,
tie in
listen.
there. The
Help
the
us
last
out.
thing we need to discuss are Well, there's two things. The symbols that were in the book. How do we think that all ties in to like the symbol that Jade was seeing and the symbol that was in the safe house
I
area?
think the symbol that he's seeing that they was drawing, I think those are the symbols that bind them there. Because those symbols, they haven't shown them to be on a talisman.
Okay.
Have they shown a close up of the talisman? Have we
They got
seen
close
like
enough
exactly
where you
what
can
that
see
looks
it.
like?
Very
They got close enough where
Westworld-ish.
you cannot see
without the
spirally.
spirally thing.
Right,
around it.
you would have definitely saw that symbol in there. It's very distinct. They shown it like 5-6 different
The
times.
symbol on the talisman.
The like
is what's-
Thundercats logo thing that we keep seeing.
like a
with the-
Thundercat
Yeah, okay.
/ Atari logo. So that's one point.
Oh, Atari,
think-
that's great. Yeah,
I think what it is I think
love
that
Atari
symbol
logo.
is
It's a great
what
logo.
it is that's binding those souls or those people there to that place. I think once they find all those symbols and get rid of them, they might be able to leave. That's my new theory. I just made that shit up as I was finishing that sentence.
So they like, just kind
Isn't
of
that the
wash the
best
symbol
one?
off the tree. So the symbols, but
but the
like,
symbols are saving them right now
So the only one that we've
Wow.
seen, but wait,
by
we don't-
keeping the monsters out.
no,
the symbols on the
is-
Oh,
talisman.
those symbols.
he's
Sorry.
talking about the symbol
gotcha.
that Jade saw when he put his hand on the tree.
Yeah,
He saw a symbol. Where did he see that symbol?
he
On
saw
the
it on
tree.
the roof of that
Yeah,
thing,
but
and
he saw it on the tree, right?
It
It was carved into the tree.
And then he was
And
drawing.
she
And
had
he
it
was
in
drawing
so
it.
that
The old
somebody
lady
else
saw
was
it,
doing
and
too.
she took him to the notebook where it was drawn.
Here's what's gonna really freak you out when you go to the goddamn notebook and find out who wrote that notebook. It's gonna fuck around and be Jade.
Have we had a good chat?
Yeah, the chat. We got a lot of people. Oh well, we got Jay Whackers in the chat. We got people watching, but no, I like
Was
the
that-
interaction. I'm
Well,
talking-
the last stuff that I got really is it was all of it was about. I mean, besides the bracelet thing, because we anything else, any other theories we can think of on the
I
bracelet
have
thing?
nothing.
I'm trying to relate it to something in
I
Lost,
have
but I feel like it's
nothing.
going to be one of those
I have
things
nothing
where
but time travel.
I can't quite. It has to be something like there's some secret organization involved to where they would have grabbed something at the daughter's birth. You know what I mean? Like there's got
To
to be
attract her there,
to
to
somehow.
make the family show up there.
Yeah. But then we're leaning into curses where you need a piece of their personal items or some
Not
shit.
really. We do that with animals right now. We put tracking devices and shit on them.
That doesn't get them to stay anywhere in particular, or come
we
anywhere
do.
in particular.
And Jeremy
can.
got dogs right now with
They have the
collars.
collars.
On it that won't let them.
Right,
fly
those,
the-
yeah.
So I could see that, but that would mean
I mean, when you really break the
aliens,
collars
Jay
of that,
Whackers.
it's kind of cool,
Aliens.
but it
That's
totally
right.
works.
She said
Sorry.
aliens.
She said it's not aliens.
Oh, okay.
And I'm arguing with her because, I feel like
Hey,
it.
listen, I am not going to sit here and rule it out.
I'm gonna say that I hope it's not.
Okay, fine, but I can't. I'm not going to sit here and say, nah, not aliens.
Aliens as the
To
answer
me,
is never
I
satisfying
think
to
that
me.
we're like,
Unless it's aliens that were like us that went off and then we were finally coming back, but it turns out it was us all along kind of stuff. Stuff like that I'm down for. But just aliens where it's like, wait, so we're not going to get anything on them? It's just we just have to believe that they have this power to do this weird thing for no reason. Like, we're going to have to get a reason eventually and an explanation. Did you notice the priest buried his shit in the middle of that Stonehenge thing?
yeah.
That was what I was talking about.
I knew that's what you were talking about when I saw it. I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay, that's the Stonehenge thing that Joel was talking about.
So we have to believe these voices, right? Like that's
I
the
say
last
that
thing,
that
really.
was. I say it was proved.
I'm arguing
The
with
voices
the
thing
chat.
was proved, unless
But what does it mean?
the
Like,
thing is, unless she is way smarter than we're giving her credit for, and had already dug that stuff up, and found it, and knew it was there, to fake and draw that picture, to put him in that position. But to me, like she would
we
have
saw
had to
the
known
stuff on
too
her
much.
arm. Like
She
we
saw
saw,
That's
it.
but that's he
but
saw.
we saw it as a viewer. They showed it to us.
We saw what she saw.
right.
We saw what she saw. It's a hallucination.
But it was
They're
third
not-
person. Like we're not looking through her eyes.
Yeah,
if
but
it
they
was
rarely
But see,
do
the
that
proof,
anyway.
the proof of
But
that
they got
happening,
close enough to where it was like up on
proof
her
of-
arm,
the
to where
proof
it
of that
could have
being
been her
real,
perspective.
it could have been
She would
while
have the
she was
scars on her
strapped
arm.
down. They could have wrote on her arm again while the preacher was sitting there watching it happen. That would have concretely answered whether or not that thing, that
See, to me,
apparition
if
was.
that-
I think that
But she would have had scars on her arm.
well, no,
no,
what I'm
This one.
saying, but
If it was real, if she didn't hallucinate that, she would have the cuts on her arm.
well, I
in the
mean, if
field.
they can put the cut there, they can heal it. I mean, healing happens fast there. But what I'm saying is, I believe that what she's hearing is there.
Yes,
I'm
I agree with
solidly
you.
behind that
Do you
they're
think
talking
it's
to her.
on her side, or do you think they're full of shit?
I think it's full of shit. I don't trust it yet because it hasn't shown itself to be necessarily be trusted.
I'm going to say
But
that
if
I
you're
think
saying-
it's going to end up being something where they were trying to help.
Now,
just
if
for
you're right
a
about
twist.
them,
That's the only reason I say
if
it.
she was supposed to kill the little boy with the white on,
Right?
then that's a whole nother story.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a whole nother story. He could be the start of the cycle. He could be the reason why all of this exists.
The kid?
Yeah. And dude even made wow, what is it, Victor? You said he already made like this kid is super important. He been there the longest. He said this kid was here one time before. He
And
chose
everybody
you.
died, yeah.
Something is going on. We need to figure out what's going on and why he chose you. So this kid is something important. He's just not there, you know.
Okay. I mean, I'm down with all that. God, I thought I had one more thing about it.
I don't know. We might have to call it. I'm like,
Oh, no, we're done. We don't have anything else, really.
Heat is
It's
becoming
very warm in here.
Is it warm in here?
Yeah, it's changed considerably from
That's
this
odd because I'm
podcast
usually
in the
the
fall.
one that gets hot, and I'm not hot today.
Well, I'm wearing a hoodie for some
well,
stupid reason.
like I said, dude, we're gonna have to address this.
I'm no. We go get a what you call it. I'll buy it.
So the next episode is called
One of those. Well, all of the air conditioners.
They
you
all make
have to-
noise. That's the
Well,
problem.
they make noise, and
You have to.
there has to
have
be some sort
kind
of
of
unit
ventilation.
outside. I'm looking into doing like the ductless, like air.
Is this the outside?
Yes.
Yeah, but then we got that noise. It'll sound
I'm
awful
trying to,
on
I'm
mic.
trying to cool the whole building, not just the
Oh,
room.
Jeremy,
If the whole building is cool, this room will be.
Hey,
cool.
listen, they ain't got nothing to do with the podcast.
No.
Listen, I think the show.
It'll get warmer when we come in here,
is
but
dope. Don't cut.
But it does have something to do with it. What I was going to say is the next episode is called All Good Things. So the implication being there, something is about to change in their what's good in this system that could go wrong. I mean, the talismans, like
So
that's,
you're thinking of finishing that phrase?
Yeah, all good things come
Must
to an
come
end.
to an end.
yeah. I mean, what else would that be?
I'm telling you
hinting
what
at?
they talking about, man. That they already implied that the young lady Julie is in danger. She's one of the main characters. The family is the main characters.
Wait,
Let's
why
be
did they
clear.
imply she's in danger? I
Because
genuinely
she's
forgot.
the only one in that house, and then she's the only main character in that house. They haven't shown anybody else to be main characters.
I see.
That was
Okay.
my-
She's
Actually-
in that house,
actually-
and that guy's gonna open that window.
Actually, that
He's
was my
100%.
first thought.
What's that?
Was oh shit, the daughter's in
Yeah.
serious danger now.
And they did that for that reason.
Right, they put her in that house to put her in that position.
Okay.
Right.
Well, and I think she's somehow at the center of them coming there with
Right.
that bracelet connection.
Maybe they open
So-
the window, kill
The
everybody
daughter,
in the
but
house.
what
and
if the
She
daughter-
lives, and the
Maybe they
daughter
don't kill
lives.
her.
So you saying the daughter have something? She was born when he lost the bracelet.
Correct. I think that's not a coincidence, and it's
No,
going
I
to be
don't think
something
so.
where somebody snagged it
How many
from him there.
coincidences do you think are in the show?
Yeah, no, probably not.
I don't think there's a lot of coincidences.
Well, it's no coincidence that we'll be back next Wednesday to talk more about From, and I don't know whatever
Yeah.
else. Is there anything else?
I don't know if there's anything starting before next week. When does
Dude,
I know,
Severance. I know you haven't seen it, but have you watched it, Dre?
No, I haven't watched it yet, but I do want to say one thing. I will watch Severance, but I want everybody, folks in the chat, folks that watch this video before these shows come out, and us three especially, let's get ready to watch Halo.
I was just getting ready to talk about the couple of things we got coming up. We got Halo and we got the Moon Knight are both starting around the same time. We will
Halo
be
and
doing.
Moon
I don't know. You said Moon Knight you might join us for, but Halo you weren't really.
I mean, it's not that.
Interested in.
The point is, I don't know enough about Halo, and I'll probably derail you with a bunch of questions that are day one questions.
We'll
But,
enjoy answering.
but I'm down if you guys want me to. But I'm happy to sit one out and just produce it if that's a better
I don't like. I'm
solution.
saying like if you're interested in sitting and watching the show, like you said, I don't know. Like I don't know that they're going to approach the new series of Halo with everybody having prior knowledge.
Right.
If they want this mainstream, you
show.
have to.
It just has to be a show.
You have to start it from the beginning.
Right, it's got to
So
be a
I
show.
we might know some more things because that's a Covenant soldier or that's this type of weapon or that's
Right.
but like as far as story goes, I don't know that they're going to be telling the same story.
Yeah,
as the
they're not
video game
talking
or
about
info.
Sergeant Johnson or nothing like
I
that.
don't think so, man.
The only-
I- so
and I was
I think-
already said I'd be fine with Moon Knight because it feels like it's new enough that it's going to be essentially standalone. I don't think in the first season of Moon Knight they're going to have a bunch of crossovers.
Well, I don't know about
with other stuff
crossovers.
that
There
I've
will be
seen.
Easter eggs in there, and it's definitely
Hey, you
going
guys
to be
noticed
connected.
that they put all the
I think they're
Netflix shows on
ramping
Disney
up.
Plus?
Yes, they're ramping up for. I think they're ramping up for a crossover between Moon Knight and I think it's all going to happen. Moon Knight, some of, like Ghost Rider, some of these like darker type of magic, Doctor Strange, and they're gonna, God, it's all gonna culminate into a crossover in like the Blade movie in a couple years.
Yeah.
When Blade hits, you're gonna have Blade. Moon Knight's gonna be in the movie. Like, there's your crossover. Like,
New
so
Avengers.
so you might be able to sit and watch Moon Knight and not have a shit ton of like day one. I don't know shit about Moon Knight.
Right.
So like, I'm gonna be in the same boot.
And I'm cool
I
with
know
that.
he's a Marvel character. I know he gets his powers from the moon.
I was just worried
I really
that,
don't know
I'm
too much more
still
about
not
him.
quite caught up. So, but I think it's going to be standalone enough
To where it won't
that,
spoil
that
anything.
it's not
going to
ruin anything I haven't seen. The
You've
couple
seen
things.
Spider-Man. So
I'm
you
all the
were
way
like-
through Loki. I'm in the middle of Loki.
So what haven't you seen?
That's what I was going to ask. I know I haven't seen that 10 Rings one.
Okay.
I've
That's
seen.
almost exceedingly standalone-ish.
It's
Outside
the
of
only
For now.
connection was
outside of
that.
the post-credit scene.
That was it. So
was
you don't need to watch Shang-Chi to watch Moon Knight. I don't think.
Right. There's a couple things in there. There's a Black Widow movie.
Standalone.
I don't
You
think
can
you need
watch
to
that
see
when you
that.
get time.
Loki might be a good one to be through with.
Right.
Go ahead and watch Loki.
Go ahead and finish up Loki. I don't know if did you watch What If?
No, not all of it. I watched.
You don't
I don't
have
know.
to
I
watch
don't know
it.
if he has to watch it, but there might be
But
some
it will help
relevant
you with
stuff in there.
familiarity with certain concepts,
Right.
especially when they do the
multiverse.
multiverse of madness.
Right.
It's some stuff that
So yeah, I don't see why you couldn't join us for Moon Knight and be just as involved in the show as we are.
Right.
So yeah, we will be back. We're going to talk about Moon Knight and Halo when they come out. If we have to do them in the same episode, we'll figure it out. Whatever format we come up with to do it.
I don't. And
but yeah.
honestly, I don't think we have to talk for hours on end about Halo or Moon Knight.
To
I
me,
think some of
This
stuff
show
will be straightforward.
warranted it though.
That's what I'm
This show,
saying. I'm
this
saying,
show, but I'm saying those
like,
shows, I
but
don't think they'll
this
be
show,
that
but we didn't
mysterious
know.
or nothing.
We had no idea what this show was to begin
Right.
with. If Halo or Moon Knight lends itself to these kinds of conversations, then yeah, man, I'll go on for however long we need to go on
Listen,
for.
man, I will talk about this shit all day
Right.
as long as
For now, I'm gonna
Swisher Sweets BLK is paying me.
and iPhones.
Right.
They still make calls.
ShamWow, Dr. Pepper, we got
And X
Cherry
Star. This is X Star.
A&W Root Beer.
We took the A off instead of the E because it just makes.
We're sponsored by all these things. believe it or
Okay,
not.
whatever.
This is how to watch TV.
See you later.